background music, soft instrumental version of Waymaker or similar worship atmosphere. Around the world, in churches, stadiums, hospitals, and homes, one song has risen above culture, language, and denomination. A song sung in moments of pain, moments of hope, and moments of worship. That song is Waymaker. And behind this powerful anthem is a woman whose voice and ministry have touched nations. A woman whose gift has shaped global worship in a way few artists ever have. Her name is Sinach, one of the most influential and prophetic gospel artists of our generation. But what makes Sinach truly remarkable isn't just her music, it's her message. Her songs don't just entertain, they minister, they heal, they strengthen faith. Her lyrics carry a prophetic sound, words that speak life, hope, and transformation into people across continents. From humble beginnings in Nigeria to becoming a worldwide worship icon, Sinach's journey is a story of faith, resilience, and divine purpose. In this video, we explore her life, her ministry, her family, her achievements, her prophetic impact, and the legacy she continues to build. Before the world knew her as Sinach, before the awards, the global concerts, and the songs sung in every nation, she was simply Osinachi Kalu, a young girl growing up in Ebonyi State, Nigeria. Born on March 30th, 1972, Osinachi was the second of 7 children in a humble, faith-filled family. Her parents raised her with strong Christian values, the kind that would later shape her destiny and her ministry. From the very beginning, music was part of her life. As a child, she joined the church choir, not for fame, not for recognition, but out of a genuine love for worship. Those early years in church planted the seeds of something greater, a calling that was already forming deep within her. Even though she had a heart for music, her path wasn't a straight line to the stage. After finishing secondary school, Osinachi pursued a higher education and went on to study physics at the University of Port Harcourt. But even in the classroom, the fire for worship never left her. She continued singing, serving, and staying connected to her church community. It was in these formative years, ordinary moments, consistent service, quiet devotion, that God was preparing her for the extraordinary journey ahead. What started as a simple passion in a young girl's heart was about to grow into a global calling, one that would one day touch millions. Sinach's journey into music wasn't planned by ambition. It was guided by purpose. Her ministry began to take shape in 1989 when she started singing seriously at Christ Embassy, the church where she served faithfully for many years. It was here that her gift began to flourish. Week after week, she wrote songs, not for commercial release, but as expressions of worship for her church. Long before the world ever heard her voice, Sinach had already written dozens of songs that were ministering to thousands within her local congregation. But the world was about to catch up. In 2008, after years of serving behind the scenes, Sinach released her debut album, Chapter 1. It marked the beginning of her recording career and the unfolding of her global impact. Over the years, her songwriting became a powerful spiritual force. Sinach is now known as one of the most prolific gospel songwriters in the world, with over 200 songs to her name. Her music is not only sung, it is lived, prayed, and experienced by millions. But everything changed in 2015, when one song broke every barrier, crossed every border, and became a worship anthem for the nations. That song was Waymaker, a prophetic declaration of faith and hope, from Africa to America, from Asia to Europe, from megachurches to underground churches. Waymaker became a global cry of worship. International artists like Michael W. Smith and Leland released their own versions, taking the song even further into the global Christian worship movement. The impact was undeniable. The awards followed. Sinach became the first Nigerian to win the GMA Dove Award for Song of the Year, an achievement that placed her among the greatest worship writers of all time. She also topped the Billboard Christian Songwriters chart for an astonishing 12 weeks, a milestone no African gospel artist had ever reached before. Her influence caught international attention. In 2021, while on tour, she was officially recognized by the United States Congress for her contribution to gospel music and global worship. And her musical excellence continued to open doors. In 2022, Sinach became a voting member of the Grammy Recording Academy, a rare honor for African gospel artists. Then, in 2023, the Commonwealth of Dominica appointed her as a global ambassador, recognizing not only her music but her positive influence on nations. From local choir singer to global worship icon, Sinach's rise was not by chance. It was the natural unfolding of a calling, a ministry, and a prophetic voice that the world could no longer ignore. Behind the global stages and powerful worship moments, Sinach's personal life is a beautiful story of love, faith, and answered prayers. In 2014, Sinach married the love of her life, Pastor Joseph Egbu, a dedicated minister and leader at her home church, Christ Embassy. Their wedding was a joyous and spiritual celebration, held right where Sinach had served and worshipped for years. It was a union built not just on love, but on shared purpose, shared faith, and a shared calling to serve God. For 5 years, the couple prayed, believed, and waited for a child. And in November 2019, their testimony finally came. Sinach gave birth to their first child, a beautiful baby girl named Rhoda. Her birth was celebrated across the world, not just by fans, but by the entire Christian community. For many, Rhoda was a symbol of God's faithfulness, a reminder that delay is not denial, and that every promise arrives at the appointed time. Sinach's personal life goes beyond her home. Together with her husband, she founded the Joseph and Sinach Foundation, a charitable organization focused on helping the less privileged and bringing hope to communities. One of their notable initiatives was in Abia State, where the foundation organized a medical outreach that provided free health care to nearly 700 people, men, women, and children who received treatment, medication, and support at no cost. For Sinach, ministry isn't just about music. It's about impact. It's about touching lives, not only spiritually, but physically and emotionally. Her family, her marriage, her child, and her foundation all reflect one thing: a life fully committed to serving God and humanity. Even with global fame and millions of lives touched, Sinach remains deeply grounded in humility and devotion. She isn't just a performer, she is a worship leader at heart. For decades, she's served faithfully in her church, not for spotlight, but for worship. Her ministry, not the stage, defines her identity. Wikipedia plus 2 Days Star Christian Center plus 2. Her life is a testimony. Even though she's traveled the world as an artist, she still returns to the altar to lead worship, to pray, to serve. That humility has made her beloved, not just as a star, but as a spiritual mother. Sinach's influence is truly international. Over the years, she has ministered in more than 50 countries, from large stadiums to intimate church gatherings. Wherever she goes, her message of hope and faith follows. Daystar Christian Center +1. And she doesn't just sing, she connects. Through social media, she reaches Christians around the world, building community, encouragement, and faith. On YouTube, she has over 1 million subscribers. Sinach Music on Facebook, more than 3 million followers, and on Instagram, she's followed by over 1.5 million. Daystar Christian Center +1. Sinach's lifestyle is a mirror of her music, simple, devoted, and deeply rooted in worship. Her public image isn't built on glamour, it's built on faith. Even in her success, she remains a worshiper first, a servant second, and a voice for Jesus Christ to the nations. Beyond her spiritual impact, Sinach has also built a remarkable financial footprint through her music and global ministry. According to multiple public sources, her estimated net worth ranges between $1 million and $5 million. While exact figures vary, analysts agree that her decades in gospel music have created a strong and steady financial base. On YouTube alone, Sinach's channel has become a major global platform for worship. Independent analytics estimate the channel's value between $246,000 and $1.48 million, depending on views and engagement. And with hundreds of millions of total views on songs like Waymaker, this digital influence continues to grow every year. Her income streams go far beyond performances. Sinach earns from album sales, songwriting royalties, international concerts, and digital streaming across all major platforms. As one of the most streamed gospel artists from Africa, her catalog continues to generate revenue worldwide. She may also receive income through ministry partnerships and faith-based events, where she serves as a guest minister or worship leader. But despite this financial success, Sinach remains consistent. She rarely focuses on wealth, instead directing attention to her ministry and calling. Her journey shows that gospel music can be both impactful and sustainable. A blend of faith, global influence, and long-term creative work. More than a singer, more than a songwriter, Sinach is known around the world as a prophetic voice. Her songs don't just inspire, they shift atmospheres, bring comfort, and ignite faith in moments when people need it the most. For many believers, her music carries a healing grace,